Hi everyone, welcome to MGS Coaching Football. Thank you for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Coach Sullivan here, defensive coordinator, and I hope that your 2021 season was as successful as ours was. In this presentation today, I want to talk to you about one of our 3-4 match quarters variations that we call Grade 2, and it's going to be versus Florida, which is the smash concept. Okay, I can tell you why we call it Florida in a minute. Over here, I'm going to go through the key terms to help you better understand how we defend Florida or the smash concept out of grade 2. And then over here, I'll bring it all to life for you. Okay? So first, let me start with why we call it Florida. Well, when Steve Spurrier, the great coach, the ball coach, the head ball coach, went to Florida, he developed the smash concept. So out of respect to that, that's why we call it Florida. And remember, we use state names and regions within states to identify two-man route concepts anyway. So, okay, that's the background of Florida. So the first key term over here is surface. And what do we mean by surface? We mean the offensive line, okay? So from tackle to tackle, and when there's a tight end, the tight end becomes a part of the surface, so the tight end's included. The surface tells us run, pass, and direction. So when our guys see the hi-hats, whether it's a soft set, a hard set, a vertical set, angle set, whatever it might be, they see the hi-hats, that first thing is it tells them that's pass. Okay, if you're going to be a match quarters defense and coverage, you got to read the surface, right? You can't do anything correctly, in my opinion, unless you read the surface, the offensive line. So the second key term is the two guys who are a part of grade 2, right? The outside linebacker and the inside linebacker. So in the diagram, I have our 4 linebackers underlined, okay? They are taught to read number 2, tells you what to do. Read number 2, tells you what to do. Okay, because what number 2 does is in coordination with what the route of number 1, right? It's a two-man route concept. So in this case, number 2 is going to be running the corner at 10 plus, and number 1 runs the hitch, right? Smash concept. So that's what number 2 is going to do, and then what the impact of what number 1 does will determine what the outside linebacker does as well as the inside linebacker. So the third key term is what will the outside linebackers do? They will wall number 2 vertical. Okay, wall, I'll show you in the diagram, but they're going to keep inside leverage on it. Okay, be in between the receiver and the quarterback. And then here's the key. They will cross tracks. And I'll show you that, okay? So what we end up doing is we get a bracket on number 2, okay, between the outside linebacker and the safety. Okay, because remember, corners and safety, and when I say remember, I'm talking to subscribers, so non-subscribers push the button. Corners and safeties, they're going to bracket number 1 unless. This is an unless scenario. Okay, so then it becomes a bracket on number 2's vertical. So I'll show you the cross tracks, and it's very easy to teach and drill when we get to the diagram. The inside linebackers, right, they're going to see the surface. So for now, right now is a good time for me to have the offensive line show that they're in pass mode, and then the tight end, by releasing into the pattern, dictates that as well, right? So when the inside linebacker gets his pass read, okay, he will pivot to 2. Then he will see 2's not coming to him, 1's not coming to him. Then they fall back on their base grade 4 match quarters. Okay, everything starts with grade 4. Not subscribers. So then it becomes running back 2, spy the Q. Running back 2, spy the Q. So I'll show you all that as well as what we call the mirror technique to spy the Q when we get to the diagram. So the inside linebackers will be last in the diagram. Okay? So now the corners, right? I have a press example and a regular 1x7 off example, just so I can show you the difference in technique. Okay, we might at times line up like this, but normally if we're in press, it's both corners. Normally, if we're just lining up in our base, they're both off at 7, right? This is a 1 back, 11 personnel set. So, okay, they're going to bump and sit on the hitch. 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 Okay, which is a totally different way to play the smash concept that we call Florida. Okay? So now the safeties, right? This is big. Safeties, surface, boom. So they mirror the release of 2. 2's vertical. They're going to tempo, 2's vertical. And then their eyes are on 1. They see that 1's not vertical. So now they understand they're in a bracket on number 2. Okay? Remember, it's bracket on 1 unless 1's not vertical. So now 2's vertical, the bracket occurs on 2. It's now with the outside linebacker, not the corner. Okay? So he's going to bracket number 2 with the outside linebacker, and he'll be planting and driving on that upfield shoulder, which will bring in across the tracks as to how we're able to bracket it. It's both inside, outside, high, low. Beautiful. Okay, so now over here, it's time for the diagram. We're going to diagram the route concepts, Florida smash in red. All right, so there's the hitch. And the break will be at 10 plus yards, trying to find the void. Okay, same thing over here. Sit on the hitch. The corner break will occur at 10 plus. Okay, so we'll start with the corners, the easy one. Press technique, they're in a zone press, so they're outside, right? Like I have it illustrated here, their hips are turned inside so they can see the surface. If I'm on the left, I'm going to funnel them in with the left. If I'm on the right, I'm going to funnel them in with the right. Okay, so bump. Okay, we're going to carry it, going to tempo, and then we're going to just sit on the hitch. Remember, bump and sit, bump and sit, bump and sit. They usually don't do a great job selling a vertical because it's a fairly short hitch, right? Maybe 3-step at the most. So bump and sit, bump and sit. I'll now go to the other corner just to compare techniques. When they're playing at their regular depth, we just tell them take the charge. So keep your feet hot, no pedals at all. Okay, keep your outside leverage. So if you have to walk, pedal, butt to boundary, no problem. But the bottom line is they will plant and drive on the hitch. Plant and drive, plant and drive, plant and drive. Okay? So now let's get to the outside linebackers, right? Surface, pass. They see that they take a quick peek at 2, right? 2's vertical. They have to look at 1 because if 1's coming in, then they're going to take them. Okay? 1's not coming in, so he knows his rule in grade 2 is to wall the vertical of 2. Wall it. So wall, remember, he's in between the receiver in red and the quarterback. When number 2 plants and breaks to the outside, here is the all-important cross tracks. We now want you underneath because the safety is here. So now it's time for the safety, right? Surface. Okay, they sit and zit. 1, 2, 3. They don't do anything. They don't move. They sit and zit for 3. They confirm pass, then they get their eyes to 2. So the walk pedal, we don't bail hard. We do not create space. This would be a walk pedal, right? And then it's going to be a plant and drive on that upfield shoulder. So here's the high, right, on the outside, low on the inside. There is your bracket on number 2. They're trying to normally hit the void here. Okay? But by crossing the tracks, there is no void. So when he crosses his tracks, he baseball turns and looks to see if the ball is being thrown. He's in the best position to catch it. Okay? Same over here. The difference in technique, the detached outside linebacker may or may not get any hands on number 2. An unattached outside linebacker, they're shooting their hands and knocking back every single time. We are relentless on tight ends, getting hands all over them, holding up their release as best we can. They're the ones that's kind of locked in, a little bit of tunnel vision on the tight end, but they're going to hear us pass all around them. Plus, now the tight end's doing everything, can to get away from him because he's got to get upfield. So he will do the same thing, right? Except now with the addition of knockback, but he's still going to wall, right? Be in between the receiver in red and the quarterback. When the receiver plant and drives, cross tracks to the inside, same thing, sit and zit, walk pedal, plant and drive, and you have the same bracket on two, right? On top, below. So it ends up being inside, outside. Inside, outside. All right? Inside, outside. High, low. High, low. Beautiful. Okay, and it's a great changeup if you're facing teams that love to run the smash concept, or what we call Florida. Right? We scream Florida, doesn't mean anything. You say watch for the smash, they can make checks and adjustments because they know that you know, right? So that's another reason why we put everything in codes. Alrighty? So as I said, the last but certainly not least, the inside linebackers. Surface. So they just pivot, both do the same. Two's not coming to them. One's not coming to them. So they pivot back. And so now both inside linebackers have the same rule. Running back two, spy the Q, right? So even if the running back is in protection, he comes to you, he's yours. So that's what we would call key rush. That's the base grade 4 principles for inside linebackers. Not subscribers, push the button. Okay? May or may not be involved. If it's a flare route, it then becomes a scat concept. So we're going to say there's no route here from the running back. Okay? So now the running back goes away from you. This is the technique we call mirror, right? It's spy. But what we teach our inside linebackers is get in the mirror of the quarterback. If he's here, you're here. If he's over here, you're over here. So as he looks downfield, he sees you in the mirror, right? You're spying the quarterback, but that's what we mean by mirror. Wherever the quarterback is, you're mirroring him, okay? And that goes back to our base grade 4. So it's very simple to teach, okay? So as I said at the beginning, thank you for watching MJS Coaching Football. I do really appreciate it. If you have any questions, subscribers or non-subscribers, please reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com because I would love to talk football with you.